Republicans tried to Steve Cortes, a former advisor to the Trump campaign. Steve, you and the Trump folks do accept or don't accept that this was Russia? You accept the judgment of the intelligence community?
Listen, I'm not an intelligence officer. Yes, I would believe they're correct. I think this is what's important, though, Chris. Time and again, the mainstream media has been reporting today, and for weeks for that matter, that the election was hacked. And that is simply not the case. The DNC was hacked.
Let me stop you right there. I've never said on this program the election was hacked. In fact, we've been quite careful about the wording here. We're looking at two things that happened. The DNC was hacked, and John Podesta, who, of course, campaign chair for Hillary Clinton, criminal intrusion and what appears to be political sabotage with the intended effect of hurting Hillary Clinton and helping Donald Trump. That's different from saying it's definitive in the outcome. But my question is, does the Trump world accept that that is what happened?
Listen, that's what's been reported. I don't know. I'm not an intelligence officer. Right now, I think that's what the facts. Here's what I do know.
Wait, finish that sentence. Right now, I think that's what the facts.
That's what the facts relay. The intelligence agencies in the United States will clearly come, I believe, eventually to the correct conclusions. What is important, I think, though, is that our election, and this is what's important, and this today, I think, was a highly politicized move, if for no other reason than just its timing alone.
Wait.
This was a politicized move because what's going on, Chris, and I think it's just dishonest to say otherwise. What's going on is there's a move to try to delegitimize, to make illegitimate the victory of Donald Trump electorally.
Sure, but here's the issue. You say the timing is suspect. When would the timing not be suspect? Because if the President of the United States had done this before the election, you, Reince Priebus, Steve Bannon, Kellyanne Conway, Donald Trump himself, Mike Pence, and everyone would be screaming bloody murder that the President of the United States, in a rank partisan move, had messed with the election by announcing this before the election. In fact, fellow Republicans saying this overdue would probably have been saying the same thing. Isn't that true?
Well, listen, also, when you say fellow Republicans, let's be honest about who's saying that. It's primarily John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who have never been friends of the Donald Trump campaign.
Paul Ryan,
let's be clear.
But answer that question. If the timing here is political, the only other option would have been do it before the election, which would have been seen as more political. Don't you agree?
I don't. I think
you don't think the president, the sitting president, announced sanctions on Russia and said definitively the intelligence community all agreed they were trying to get Donald Trump elected. That would not be a more political move?
Hold on. Guessing motive is not what our intelligence agencies do. They can say that, yes, perhaps they can say that the DNC was hacked. First of all, Podesta was not hacked. He gave into a phishing scheme, which, by the way, was as juvenile as the emails that we all receive about a Nigerian prince.
You think it was his fault?
Yes,
you
believe
who
falls for that?
What
kind of a senile grandfather falls for that?
You believe John Podesta is a senile grandfather because he was a victim of a phishing attack?
Yes, but here's the more important point too. What we keep talking about is I don't know who did the hacking of the DNC. Podesta was not hacked. He fell for a scheme. The DNC was hacked. That is clear. Who did it? I don't know. What we do know though is what was revealed by the hack, and what was revealed was a Democrat Party that was corrupt to its core, particularly when it involved their primary and Bernie Sanders. And the more the American people learned about the Democratic Party and the more they learned about Hillary Clinton, the less they liked and trusted them. That's one of the reasons we won.
That's right. I don't think that's borne out by the data, but let's just talk for a minute about this idea that this was John Podesta's fault. It does appear to have been a phishing link. Criminal statutes on hacking do include that kind of behavior, right? So if you, under false pretenses, get someone's account through a phishing link, that is a criminal violation, just to be clear on what the law says hacking is.
Sure. Listen, I'm not saying that it was the act of a gentleman, right, to steal his emails. But my point is,
right. So then the question becomes: Is there any methodology of obtaining information that you think would invalidate it? Right. So if gunmen showed up at Trump Tower today, took everyone hostage, broke in and stole a bunch of documents, but the documents were interesting, you'd be cool with all of us reading them, right?
No, I clearly would not. And listen, cyber hacking cyber security in general is a major issue of national security for the United States, from Russia, from China, from a host of nations, and I think we have been feckless in our response to that, and not just this administration, but the previous administration under George W. Bush. So I am heartened that we're going to take this seriously. But it's also just as important, I think, in a political season with a president-elect to not try to in any way act as though these revelations make his victory any less legitimate. Well, and if anything, what was revealed the true nature of the opposition he was running against.
I do think the statement of the president was pretty narrowly tailored on that. Steve Cortes, I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.